We've been talking about food. There are three big questions. Number one, will there be food, or will farming be shut down for climate change or natural or man-made disaster? Two, if food is allowed, will it be fresh? Will it be healthy? How will we know? And number three, will food be limited based on a social credit score? These are real questions. These are things the Economic War Room is here to look at, war game solutions for these problems that we see coming. We have practical answers for what you can do to protect yourself, to protect your family and your community. And there may be investment opportunities where you can use your money to help preserve liberty, security, and values. One of the most important things you can do, starting today, is to develop a food security plan for your health and your family's future. And we've found a potential solution. It's early stage, but it may be a great answer. And to introduce that, we've invited William Layton of Virginia as our guest today in the Economic War Room. He's a farmer now, but he started in construction. Huge projects. He owned his own business with millions in revenues and dozens of employees, and he was actually on the team that built the wall at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. You know, Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men, "You can't handle the truth. You need me on that wall." Well, William is the one who helped build the wall that he stood on. Now, he was in construction first. He started as a hobby in farming, but the 2008 financial crisis hit and all the financing for construction dried up. So he turned his hobby into a business. He set a Virginia record with the largest pumpkin ever produced after uncovering one of nature's secrets. No fertilizer, local growth, beyond organic. And he's branched out to dozens of fruits and vegetables. We've invited him into the Economic War Room to learn how his method may strengthen our food supply, improve our health, and feed America and the world. Welcome, William.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for inviting me here.
Well, we're glad to have you. Let's talk first about your 1,138-pound pumpkin that you grew in 2007. How did you do that?
Well, it started off as a hobby, and I wanted to grow a giant pumpkin. So anyway, I went out there in the garden, done like everybody normally does, threw a bunch of fertilizer, chemicals. At the end of the year, I had nothing. Well, I'm not one to stop because I lost one time or quit. So then I ended up learning the way humans grew food for hundreds of years. No fertilizer, no chemicals. They've only been around since the early 1900s. And I applied one of them methods. And then 2 years later, I broke the Virginia state record, shattered it actually twice with two giant pumpkins, a 938-pounder, then 1,138-pounder. And from there on, I turned this hobby, started growing giant tomato plants, big cucumbers, giant cabbage, and everything else. And in that, I discovered a new way to grow that's been around for thousands of years, and I learned how to commercialize it.
It's a new way to grow, but it's really nature's secret.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with pests if you don't use chemicals and fertilizers?
Well, the way I grow, everything's controlled agriculture indoors, but because my plants are getting everything that nature intended them to get, their defenses kick in, which repel bugs and stuff, the natural defenses. Where they're growing with fertilizer and chemicals, the plants are only barely getting enough to finish up. That's why they're less nutritional. Your average tomato right now is 60% less nutritional than when we were a kid.
Wow.
So by tapping into everything that the plant needs, I don't need any GMOs or anything. I've grown tomato plants 24, 25 foot tall, cabbage, everything, the way nature intended it to grow.